Hello and welcome to the USA Cares podcast. I'm your host, Matt Castor. I am joined with my good friend and co-host, Maeve Armstrong.
Hi.
How are you?
Great, how are you?
Good. Back at it. So if you are new to the USA Cares podcast, welcome. This is a podcast all about honoring our veterans and all about honoring our veteran community. A good way to give back a little bit to those who have given so much. So I hope you will check it out. I hope you'll subscribe and make it part of your weekly routine. We've had a number of really good episodes here lately, so definitely check it out on every social media platform, but some really good stuff going on, Maeve.
That's right.
Thank
USA
you.
Cares
That's it.
on all platforms.
On all platforms.
Yep.
That's because of you. Good job. But this podcast is sponsored by Roller Die Informing, McClellan Integrated Services, and of course, we want to talk about our good friends at Hardee's and Carl's Jr. Restaurants.
That's right.
Big event coming up.
Yep, Stars for Heroes. You can buy a star, and some of the proceeds will come to USA Cares.
It's one of those things, Maeve, if you're going to go out, you're going to spend money on food,
Right.
You're going to go out, you're going to enjoy a nice meal, you might as well put your money towards something that's giving back a little bit.
Absolutely.
So that's what this is all about. It's a really cool event, Memorial Day to July 4th. Go out and grab some burgers and just know that you're helping veterans at the same time. So a big, big thank you to our good friends at Hardee's and Carl's Jr. and the difference they're making. So, Maeve, we've got an in-studio guest, which is always one of our favorite things.
Yes.
Right?
It's wonderful.
So why don't you do us the honor of introducing our guest for today?
Today we have Will Bland. Say hi.
Hello.
Hey, Will. Welcome.
Fun.
Not too much. Really excited to join you all. Appreciate you having me to the studio today.
Yeah.
That's
Like I was
wonderful.
saying, Will, you're a podcasting veteran here, right? So this is just old hat for you.
Well, it is something I enjoy. I've been 2.5 years into it, and it's been a fun journey.
That's awesome. So tell us about yourself. I know you're in the Kentucky National Guard.
Yes.
Yeah. Tell us what that journey's been like for you and what got you going in that.
Well, what got me going into it was college. As I was in college after my freshman year, I said, I don't know how I'm going to continue to pay for this.
Yeah.
And I had some friends that were in ROTC, told me about some benefits of joining the National Guard, and talked me into it. I did not know at that time it would turn into a career. I'm 16 years in now.
Wow, that's awesome.
Just hit that mark. Very proud to be a part of the organization. In a full-time capacity, I am the Resilience, Risk Reduction, and Suicide Prevention Coordinator for the Kentucky Guard as a federal civilian employee.
That's awesome. You know, it's interesting as we look at, you mentioned the college, and I really think this is going to be, as the military works on recruitment, works on all these other things, and as college becomes more expensive, I do think that's going to be a more viable option for many more people going forward.
Yeah, I mean, it's really hard to beat the benefits.
Yeah.
And not only is there the state and federal tuition assistance that people get if they're in the Kentucky National Guard, but then you also have the GI Bill benefits, as well as, depending on if you go officer or enlisted, there's other like bonuses and things that can come into play. So a ton of benefits that can help out.
You know, and as a dad, I look at, kids going to college and like, do they really want to take out $50,000 in loans? You know what I mean? And like they're screwed once they get out. So, I mean, something like this is just a great option.
Yeah, and
awesome.
at that time also just the student loan repayment plan was a big piece because
Oh,
I had
wow.
taken several loans out my freshman year.
Yeah.
So not only did I get support moving forward, but it also helped with paying the loans that I already had.
That's awesome. So you start seeing these benefits stack up and you're like, I'm just going to keep this going.
Yeah, I
That's
I think
awesome.
we'll stay for this.
That's awesome. Very, very cool. Well, good.
So you talked about your role that you currently have. Can you tell us how you ended up there?
Yes. Well, I guess really I would take you back a little bit.
Yeah.
In 2019, my unit asked if I would do master resilience training. It's called MRT. And what that is it teaches 14 resiliency skills of things that help build self-awareness and resilience and learning and understanding character strengths and how we communicate with others. I fell in love with that training. So a lot of it had to do with learning about the way that we think and how that impacts our emotions and reactions, learning to communicate better. And during my deployment in 2019, 2020, I had the opportunity to teach those skills to the soldiers in my unit. And when people started coming to me and saying things like, I practiced the skill that you taught and it impacted my life, or it helped me work through a problem with my spouse, or it helped me overcome a challenge that I was facing. And I just absolutely fell in love with that ability to make an impact. And so I started looking for, full-time positions when I came back. How can I work with the Guard in a full-time capacity instead of just drilling? And at first I just got in where I could. I worked with the operations team in the G3, and just got in working with the training team. And about a year and a half ago, I saw that this position opened up for resilience, risk reduction, and suicide prevention coordinator. And never has there been a position I felt like more aligned with my passion, my ability to make an impact. And so that's where it all kind of started and fell into place.
Wow, that's
so
great.
What are some scenarios that you would, so the conditioning or the procedures that you're talking about, like what are some scenarios that people would use those for to overcome a situation?
So I guess a foundational model, one of the skills of the 14 is called ATC.
Okay.
It just means that the A stands for there's an activating event, something happens in your life.
Yep.
And that can be in any situation, not just the military. This is applicable everywhere.
I was going to say it crosses over,
and that's what I love about the skill so much. Then the T, it stands for thoughts, the thoughts that you have about whatever it is that happened.
Right.
And then we talk about how those thoughts drive your emotions and reactions. So the C stands for consequences.
Okay.
And ultimately, when it comes to those three things, the activating event, the thoughts, and the consequences, the only thing that we really have control over is our thoughts.
Mm-hmm.
And our thoughts are what drive those emotions and reactions that we have. So if we notice that we're falling into negative patterns in thinking or responding to situations, it's not so much that I need to stop being angry. I need to identify what it is that I'm thinking that is leading me to become angry so frequently.
Wow. So that's something, it's not only in personal life and your professional life, but even after, so somebody post-military dealing with some of the struggles and frustrations that they may be dealing with, that's something that could be helpful for that as well, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I have found, personal use of skills and master resilience training help my life. And then when I started to see it impact other people, I started thinking about when they leave, they still have these skills. They can still take this with them. Yeah. And it can truly make an impact. Is
it a required, is this just a Kentucky Guard thing, or is this something throughout the military?
Master resilience training is across the military.
Okay.
So it's available for the Army, National Guard.
Yeah. Yep. Awesome. Wow, that's really cool.
I need to look into that.
Yeah. For working with me, you got to figure out how to overcome.
Right.
Yeah, I get that. No,
that's great,
I get
though.
that. Oh, that's cool. So when you were coming up into this, was there somebody that introduced it to you that kind of was maybe doing what you do now, kind of introduced it to you and got you rolling with it?
Not this exact position.
Okay, gotcha.
Like when I first got in, so I joined in 2009, but when I got my commission and became an officer in 2012, as soon as I got to my unit, they asked if I would go to RTA training, resilience training assistant. And so I was introduced to the skills early on in my career, and very fortunately so, I needed those skills. Definitely a lot of younger people coming in haven't been taught a lot of these skills or communication strategies or understanding the way that our, thoughts impact everything.
Right.
And so I found it very valuable then. And just was fortunate enough that my unit needed a master resilience trainer later on in 2019 before our deployment. And as soon as I was asked and given the opportunity, I knew that I already wanted to be involved with it.
That's wild. So I know you're into fitness quite a bit, right?
Yes.
So I'm interested in this because, I mentioned to you before, I watched some of your podcast, which, by the way, what is that called?
It's called Goaltending.
Goaltending. And where can I find it?
You can find it at goalswithwill.com. It's available on all podcast platforms. And if you want to catch me on social media, at goalswithwill on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube.
Very good. Yeah. Awesome. So when I was listening to your podcast, one of the things that stuck out to me is you this same resilience training you're talking about, you utilize in fitness training.
Yes.
Talk about that.
Well, so, I mean, really when it comes to fitness training, one of our biggest obstacles to getting in shape or reaching a fitness goal is our mind, like being able to overcome that. And so another skill actually in Master Resilience training is goal setting specifically.
Yeah.
And it teaches a 7-step process for goal setting.
Yeah.
And so for me, and just seeing how that could be utilized to help people, when I got back from deployment, decided to start my own podcast and get into coaching. I looked at multiple goal setting models to include that 7-step process, and I developed my own 5-step process to kind of help to guide the way in which I approached the podcast, but also fitness goals and personal goals and ways in which I can help other people.
So what kind of feedback, and sorry, Maeve, I'm monopolizing all the questions, but what kind of feedback are you getting from people as it relates to that, from their fitness journey?
Yeah, so really one of the biggest pieces is the nutrition aspect.
Okay.
People constantly ask about the nutrition piece, or they'll say, I'm going to the gym some, but I'm not seeing the results that I want.
Right.
And often it is because we're not doing the right things in the kitchen.
Ah.
Guilty.
There you go. Oh, Maeve, it's confession time.
I know. It's hard.
I don't want to call anybody out.
Right. It's hard. But yeah, it for sure is the discipline of it and looking at like what you've currently done and been like, oh, I can definitely see like where I've fallen off a little bit here. Yeah. But that's great.
Yeah. When you're talking about and I'm kind of fascinated by this, and I'll explain why, but the kind of overcoming the resistance when you're working out, right? And you get to that point where you're like, I can't push any further. I used to coach cross country. Kids in cross country.
Okay.
And it was always cool. And I guess I never thought about it from that capacity, but we would always talk about when the first time they hit that wall, like, I just can't go any further. And then we always you got to push past the wall. And once they do, they got a whole nother gear and they just go further than they realized they could. So we were talking about the same thing you're talking about without even knowing it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And one of the things that drove it home for me about a year and a half ago, I was doing the Holistic Health and Fitness course.
Yeah.
Within the military, that it's a program in the military, but they talked about creating a power word.
Okay.
So when you are performing, or whenever you know that you're going to face a challenge, if you think about, the hardest moment that you expect to face when you're going up against that. Let's say I'm running.
Right.
And know that it's going to be a long run. Yeah. I kind of know what to expect. I've ran before. I know how I'm going to feel in that moment. If you create a power word before you go into that performance, it's something to remind you of like your why, the reason that you decided to be there, the reason that you care about your fitness. You remind yourself of that word when you hit that moment, and that is something that helps as a kind of sports psychology piece to help you power through those challenging moments.
Because your body's going to feel like it's going to go on us into panic mode, say, we got to quit. But reminding yourself that we've done this before, you lived through it before, you're going to live through it again, and just keep going on. I love that.
You could probably use that, like, if you're going to, like, go have a hard conversation with, like, your partner or whatever, like, reminding yourself, like, oh, we're in this together. We're having a problem situation, but we can do this together. If you have like a
keep
word.
that anxiety low. Yeah. That's a good point.
Yeah.
It does apply to all. That's interesting.
Yeah.
Well, that's good.
When it kind of levels the playing field too, I guess, because you have all these people come from different backgrounds, but like we all have our fitness in check, our minds in check. We can do whatever your mission is, I guess. Probably be easier to do.
Yeah, it definitely helps, and I think a big piece of it is like through understanding your why, you're able to build your power word, and that's something that helps you to power through the challenging tasks so that you can stick to routines and habits that help you reach your goal.
Wow, that's awesome. So if somebody wants to, from a civilian standpoint, if somebody wants to learn more about resilience training, like, is there something out there where they could go to and learn more about it? Should they go to your podcast? Like, what are some tools that they can utilize?
So Master Resilience Training is a Department of Defense program, so I don't think that that's necessarily available to civilians. However, there's a ton of great resources out there, such as professional development podcasts and books. There's an author that I just had on my podcast, Ryan Godfredson, who he wrote Success Mindsets, The Elevated Leader, and he's about to release a new book called Becoming Better. And so just looking for those types of books and podcasts and things that can help you learn, how our brains really work and how function and handle emotions and challenges in life.
That's awesome. With all the anxiety and depression and everything else going on, I think tools like that right now are as important as ever. Mm-hmm. And trusting the source a little bit, trusting yourself a little bit more than trusting just whatever you find on WebMD.
For sure.
Don't go on there.
Don't go on there. You'll believe you are dying of something, I guarantee it.
Yeah.
So that's really cool. So you've done some cool things too for us, for USA Cares. Talk about that a little bit. Talk about, either one of you, talk about kind of what some of those initiatives were.
Yeah, so I guess I was introduced to USA Cares a little over a year ago. I got my master's degree from the University of Louisville, and one of my entrepreneurship professors was Suzanne Bergmeister.
Oh my gosh!
Who was on the board.
She's on the board, yeah.
She was coming in town last year for the USA Cares Gala in Louisville, Kentucky.
She would shout out Air Force right now. If you're sitting here, yeah.
She absolutely would.
Yeah.
But she was coming in town. It was an opportunity to reconnect with a mentor of mine. And so she invited me to the gala last year.
Yeah.
And I knew of USA Cares, but I hadn't become familiar with the mission at that point.
Awesome.
And so coming to the gala gave me an opportunity to learn more about the mission and really connect to the impact that the organization has. And so my wife and I started talking about, how do we get more involved and try to make an impact? And so as I set my goal to take on the Spartan Trifecta this year, when you sign up, it asks, would you like to support a charitable organization? And so
that's really cool.
I immediately said, yes, I would. I would like to, try to raise funds for USA Cares. And so I dedicated my training in first race to raise money. I set a goal of raising $500 and reached $610.
Dude, that's awesome. That's awesome. I love it. And there's so many things out there like that, Maeve, and you've probably seen this before. So many events that people do anyway that you can kind of do to support, whether it's us or somebody else, but it's just a way of giving back. Always check that out.
Yeah.
Always see if there's a way to do that, because that is so cool.
Yeah.
And this looks really hard. I'm looking at their page right now, by the way.
What does it entail?
So Spartan Trifecta means...
We're not going to do it, Maeve. I'm just saying right now. I'm out.
Next time you do it, we'll be more
just
aware.
So I know. Yeah. So there's 3 races that you have to complete over the course of a calendar year.
Yeah.
It's a sprint, a super, and a beast is what they call them. The sprint is about a 5K with 20-plus obstacles.
A 5K sprint.
Well, they call it that.
Okay, I'm going to say, yeah.
But it feels like a sprint in comparison to the beast.
I bet it does.
The super is a 10K with 25-plus obstacles, and the beast is a 21K with 30-plus obstacles. And I just did that one last weekend and completed the trifecta.
Woo! You still sore?
Oh, my gosh.
I am.
Yeah, I bet you are.
Yeah, it's been a recovery week for sure.
That's awesome.
Is it local here?
So I traveled for all of my races. They have done races at Fort Knox before.
Okay.
I think that's been the closest Spartan event that I've seen to Louisville.
That's awesome. So where was this last one at?
The last one was in Fayetteville, North Carolina.
Okay, cool.
Nice.
That's awesome. Oh, are you going to do it again next year?
One of my friends is trying to talk me into doing a trifecta weekend, which is where you complete all 3 races in one weekend.
That's brutal.
You're going to need a power word.
Yeah, I'm going to need a few power words for that one.
That's awesome.
That is really, really cool. So what's next now?
If we're talking physical fitness training-wise, I am training for a DECA Fit race at the end of August. It's also a Spartan-related event, but this one is muscular endurance focused with running in between muscular endurance events.
Okay.
This is something they're able to set up inside, so it's not outside fighting the elements and running through trees and everything that the obstacle races were, but still a really great challenge. And I'm kind of using that as a train up and build up to High Rocks in November.
Okay.
And a High Rocks is similar. It's muscular endurance events with 1,000 meters of running between each event.
And are they related to like the F-45?
So, F-45 does a lot of very specific high rock style training.
Yeah.
And so I actually coach at the F-45 in Crestwood.
Okay.
And we are actually having a team that we'll be preparing for, training for, and going to probably do the one in November.
Yeah. I mean, I've seen people like they work at F-45 and they all like go to those competitions. So you're always kind of in shape. Like you're ready to go for these events.
I like to say stay ready so you don't have to get ready.
Yeah. That's
However, if you want to be competitive, it requires very intentional and specific training. Like, sure, I could go out and cross the finish line.
Yeah.
But to go out and compete, like, it takes a lot more dedication and intention.
Cool. Yeah. I love that. That'll be great.
How tight is the community in these types of training activities and these types of events? Do people, you find that people know each other pretty well? They tend to travel in the same circles. Like, it's pretty tight, right?
Yeah. So one of the cool things, and now I don't know a lot of people yet because this was my kind of first exposure to the Spartan races that I was doing.
Yep.
But I immediately recognized people from the super race that I did in April that were at the May event. And then there's people that are at the start line talking, that know each other. There's people who there was actually a guy when I did the super, he had podiumed 100 times.
Oh my gosh.
What?
So came in the
That's
top 3
nuts.
100 times.
So they see him come up to the line and they're like, yeah, it's done.
Who's getting
It's
second
done.
today?
Yeah, that's fine. Well, I feel like too, like even at the gym that I go to now, like it's not affiliated with like a 45 or anything, but I feel like veterans are always in the gym. Like that's a very important thing to their lifestyle, and I guess community too is really important to veterans.
Yeah, I mean the community's awesome. That was one of the immediate things that drew me to the F-45 that I'm at. But I know that you can find that community at a lot of gyms.
Yeah.
As well as I know a lot of people do CrossFit as well.
Right.
So that community is a huge piece for the gym, but also just the stress relief of exercising, of moving your body. Great thing not only for your physical health, but for your mental health as well.
Yeah. I mean, I've heard when we had people on the podcast before, like they miss the group, the team,
The camaraderie.
of being together, and I'm sure you could find that at a gym would be nice.
It's a great post-military career activity for sure, especially for those who are taking a break. Maybe they've served 20 plus years, and we've had guests on to talk about their, extended hiking, and they'll do these different things, just kind of clear their head. It's another great example.
Yeah.
So
I think they're up for a challenge too.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Something different too.
Yeah.
That's awesome. All right. So how many more years you got in the Guard?
Well, I'm at 16 right
Yeah.
now, so a minimum of 4.
Yeah.
But I find a lot of purpose in what I do.
That's
right
good.
now. So
That's
I'm
good.
going to be in, as long as I'm able to.
Yep.
As long as it works out with the family, because the kids are very engaged
Good.
in sports. So as they grow, that may impact the decision later.
Yeah.
But right now
That's awesome.
we're here
That's
for
awesome.
the long haul.
All right, so we got a couple minutes left. Talk to those people, maybe they're younger people thinking about where they're going to go to college. Do I go to the Guard? Do I do a little bit of both? Talk to those people and how to make these decisions.
Well, I mean, joining the Guard, it's a pretty big life decision.
Yep.
I don't think I understood the magnitude of the decision I was making at the time.
The
that I
level of
joined.
commitment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's the best decision that I ever made. It changed my life in so many ways. It put me into so many uncomfortable situations, but those uncomfortable situations are where growth come from.
Absolutely.
And so it forced me to get really uncomfortable.
You had to grow up real quick, didn't
Yeah.
you? Yeah.
And it was something I very much needed. It helped me mature a lot, coming out of a less than desirable environment, family situations, and things like that.
Gotcha.
And you see that a lot. People who came from challenging backgrounds,
Yeah.
who join the military and see their lives completely change.
Any deployments in your time?
Yes. So my combat deployment was 2019, 2020, Kuwait, Iraq.
Okay. Eye opener for you?
Yeah.
Yeah?
I mean, it was probably the best real life work experience that I ever got when it comes to leadership.
Okay. Yeah. How to adapt and overcome different challenges?
Yeah, I mean,
Or just how to motivate the team?
we're all in that challenge together.
Yeah.
But everybody still has a different, dynamic, something that they're facing back home.
Yeah, that's true.
Some people are away from a spouse and their kids. Mm-hmm. Some people are away from a boyfriend or girlfriend. Some people don't have a relationship, but they're facing the challenge of being away from their parents for the first time.
Yeah.
Or something else. So there's a lot of family dynamics, and now you're balancing being away. How do we motivate? How do we work together and collaborate with a bunch of different personalities as well?
Yeah.
So it was an eye-opening leadership experience.
That's awesome. Well, man, thanks for being here. We
Thanks so
appreciate
much.
it. Hope you'll come back and hang out with us again.
Absolutely, I'd love to.
But I love having people on who have these different unique experiences and different ways that they can adapt and overcome their challenges that we all face in life. And you've given a lot of good examples how to do that. So appreciate that.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Thanks so much for having me, Matt.
Thanks for all the fundraising you do for USA Cares.
Of course.
Keep it up, please. So,
Yeah, your fitness goals.
yeah, absolutely. And Maeve, I'm sure you'll join him for the Spartan Run, right?
There we go.
Right. Yep.
We're recruiting now.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Exactly.
So, well, thank you very much. And like I said at the beginning of the episode, if you're new to the USA Cares podcast, check out USA Cares podcast on every platform. And you'll find us, hit subscribe, reach out to us, make some comments, but we'd love to hear from you. Also, to learn more about USA Cares, go to usacares.org. Make a donation today. Step out and give something back to help some of these families who are struggling right now, these veteran and active duty families. They could use your help. So go ahead and make a donation, maybe become a monthly donor, and we appreciate your support. So until next time, we look forward to being with you, and take care of yourself and take care of those around you.